Let them come.
Hey everyone, this is ROTB, and at long last we have Bumblebee from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I make a Bumblebee every year, so this is the one for 2023. And once again, the movie's finally out in theaters, and this video will have minor spoilers regarding accuracy and small details, but nothing regarding the main plot, other than what is seen in trailers or teasers. And I've made tons of movie Bumblebees over the years, but this guy is easily my favorite, and possibly my favorite carbot I've made so far. And this guy is a heavy retool of my old Camaro B that I made back in 2019 for the 2007 movie. And I basically took the chest and waist transformation and improved it further with this guy, and you'll see more of that later. And once again, this guy has free PDF instructions on Rebrickable if you want to build him yourself. Please check out the description before commenting. I had tons of people ask me for instructions for my Rise of the Beast builds, which is kind of baffling. And to start, here he is in his off-road 1977 Camaro mode. And this is easily one of my cleaner car modes. There's a lot of smooth surfaces and not a lot of random hinges everywhere, as you would see in my older builds. And taking a closer look at the details, I got the stripes on the hood. Of course, that's a carryover from the old Camaro design. And then you got the black bumper, and I really like this roll cage. This is probably my favorite part of this build, because I was able to get the correct number of struts and the lights on top. And the sides are fairly smooth. It gets a little messy over here, and the back is nice too. I wasn't able to get the stripes to continue down to this side, but that's alright. And you got the spoilers, and then the lights, and a rear bumper, and then the giant off-road tires, which definitely help him roll very well. And this guy probably has one of the cleaner undersides of any carbot with tons of tiles, which is mostly for robot mode, of course. And the only things that I think are missing, which I'm perfectly fine with, I don't have the black fenders over the wheels, and the spoilers back here should be at least one stud thicker. They're pretty thin. And if you really want to, you can open the doors just by untabbing them from the roof, like this, and then you can just hinge them open. Not much special inside, you can't really fit a minifigure. And mostly due to the transformation, you can kind of have an opening trunk. This is not how it works in the actual car, but there's a little bit of cargo space. You can fit something in there, like butterflies or something. And it's definitely possible to retool this guy into the normal Camaro mode that you see at the beginning, that he has at the beginning of Rise of the Beast. It won't affect the transformation just to remove all this and the front grille and change up the back and make the tires smaller. For a size comparison, here we have B with Ravage and a minifigure. Studio Series The Last Night Hot Rod, Rise of the Beast Mirage. They're pretty much the same size in car mode, so he's an average carbot. And finally, here he is with my old Camaro B for the 2007 movie that I made back in 2019. And once again, this guy is a heavy retool of that guy. They mostly share around the windshield and front hood area and the center of the body, which you'll see more in the transformation. And these two are supposed to represent the same car. Of course, this one is an unmodified version. And while this guy was an amazing build for its time, it's definitely showing its age, especially with the smaller tires. And finally, here we have the main Rise of the Beast Autobots all together. We have RC, Mirage, Wheeljack, and Optimus Prime. And they all look really good together with all their distinct colors. And I think this is the third time I've made a grouping of 5 Autobots from a live action movie. And here's a quick side view. And here I tried to recreate that one shot of the vehicle modes when they were filming. And everybody here rolls really well. And now for the transformation. Of course, since there are some shared elements with the old Camaro B, you'll see some familiar things, but the new stuff is pretty cool as well. And first we have to come to the bottom and free up these wheels. This is probably my least favorite part because of how fiddly it could be sometimes. Just gonna rotate it on this joint. Like that. And then coming in here to squeeze the front bumper together. And next we're gonna pull out the arms here. They're kind of on a double joint here. And you kind of rotate them forward and keep rotating them like that. And same for this side. Just like that. And then we're gonna open up the doors, and these tabs hold the entire car together. So once these are free, the car is gonna explode into a spaghetti mess. And this is where the similarities to the old Camaro B will come in. You take the roof section, fold all this back, and you take this front windshield here and collapse it over the roof just like that. And coming to the chest, fold this section up, and you want to lift this section around, and then you rotate this. And then we're just going to fold these legs forward at the hip joint and deal with them later. And then we take this entire chest assembly here with the wheel and rotate it forward like that, and rotate like this. And this is the main engineering bit I took from the old Camaro B. But you rotate this entire section, you rotate the front of the Camaro like that, and you turn all this 45 degrees until it kind of meets up with the center where the head is held. Like that. And same for the other side. You can see this whole section is connected by this entire bar system where these two sections clip in. And then you rotate this in like this, and then fold the door, and then just collapse it all in just like that. And then you can plug the chest in and then angle the little chest bits like that. And of course you bring down the arms, bend at the elbow, and then you can spread the wings out like that. And coming over to here, it's on this double joint. You want to bend as forward as possible, and this will sit behind the arm just like that. And then we come into the back here. These sections, you rotate the hoses so the handles are pointed forward, and just kind of collapse them. And then you collapse them like as far up against the wings as you can. And this section is actually going to just fill in that little cavity. And for the roll cage here, you kind of bend them upwards and you push them forward. It's not too elegant, but you can just let them sit out there. And now for the legs. These are completely new and usually the most satisfying part of the transformation. First we have to fold these panels down like that, and this will give you a clearance to rotate all this forward at the knee here. And we split the legs. Unfortunately they don't tap together, but coming down to here, these rear wheels are on a separate hinge system. You just want to rotate these back, and then these sections, which are the heels, are going to rotate forward. They're very stiff because they need to hold up the entire robot mode. And then you take all this and bring this down together. And next you want to do is rotate the knee pads forward like that. And then finally you rotate this a little bit and take the spoiler, bring it in, and move it to the front. And move it to the front, and just setting him down on the ground. And if you want, you can split his wings like his model does. And here's Bumblebee in his robot mode. Spinning him around, I captured his proportions really well with the chunkier legs and the smaller chest, which is definitely what he had in Rise of the Beast and the Bumblebee movie, as compared to the more lankier Bayverse design. And let's get into the details. I think this is easily my best robot mode I've made for a movie Bumblebee. And yeah, the head is basically simple. I decided to add his little flaps finally. And then the chest is very nice. You have the fake grill here, it should be a little bit higher, but I think that's okay. And then the arms are pretty nice and chunky. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bulk out the forearms because of the transformation. And then you get the wheels in the back. Unfortunately, these should actually sit closer inwards. I couldn't get it to sit inwards because of all like the engineering that goes on in here, but that's fine. And the backpack is a little bit ugly. Unfortunately, the model doesn't account for the fact that he has like the roll cage and all this off-road stuff, so it just sits on the back. But if you were to retool him into the clean Camaro, this stuff wouldn't be here. And coming to the legs, you got the nice hip panel here and the big chunky feet. One thing I really like about the Rise of the Beast design is that the wheels just kind of chill on the side, which makes it easier for engineering. And of course you got the very big feet he can stand on, and I really like how he got the curved shape of his soles too. And in the back it's just these little panels, which isn't too bad. And his articulation is very good. His head can rotate on this joint down here, as well as rotate it, which is much better because on my old Camaro B, you kind of had to squeeze the chest in order to rotate the head without everything crumbling apart. And then of course the arms can raise and lower, and a very decent bend to the shoulder, and the bicep swivel, and I guess some wrist swivel because his hand is on a little bracket. Nothing at the waist due to how all the panels collapse, but the hips are usual, pretty nice. You can't really do the splits, but that's fine. And an almost 90-degree bend at the elbow. And the coolest part is that he has an ankle pivot, which is, I think it's the first for movie B. Due to how big they are, I was able to fit it in. So he can definitely stand. He has a lot of surface area to stand on. And because of transformation, you can kind of bend this part forward if you want. You can honestly stand on one leg just fine. And his wings are a little bit limited due to the kibble, but you can kind of move them up and down. They can't fully fold down like in the movie. But of course, you can also combine the wings together, and I really like this part of the Rise of the Beast design. It kind of represents his Bayverse design where he has like the mini wings, but in this case they're kind of split in half. And for his weapons, I gave him his 2 cannons here. The binocular pieces definitely help to complete the shape of it. And these just kind of tap over his arms, like how they form out of his hands in the movie. And you can get him to dual wield them, like this. And of course, his cannons are compatible with the effect parts, so you can have him do some blushing. Also have this makeshift stand where you can pose him, and you can get him into a good aerial pose. I wouldn't recommend using this exact stand though, it's a bit flimsy for his size. And of course you can recreate the scene where he jumps out of the Fortnite battle bus. For size comparison, here he is with Ravage and a minifigure, Studio Series Hot Rod, and my Rise of the Beast Mirage, and they're about head to head. And with my Rise of the Beast Prime, these two are easily the best versions of these characters I've made to date. And here he is with my old Camaro B. You can see the old Camaro B's proportions are a little bit more awkward. And this guy's also kind of, joints are getting a little loose. I already had to replace a few droid arms since they snapped, since I transformed this guy way too many times. And taking away the chest and arm and wing sections, you can see there's similarities here. I reused the same bar that runs through the middle, as well as the small area for the head, and how the windshield kind of collapses underneath that area, and then the hips kind of just fold on top. And taking a look at the arm and chest and wing area, the Rise of the Beast design is a lot more compact, allowing for the chest to sit closer together. And here's all my Lego Bumblebees that I still have all together, minus High Octane B, who is still in storage. And each of these guys was made in a separate year. I do usually make one Bumblebee a year, though it's just a coincidence. And taking a look at just my movie Bumblebees from oldest to newest, there's a cool evolution going on here. The shoulders for my Bumblebee movie B were reused for my old Camaro and new Camaro Bs for the 2007 movie, and the center structure for these two were then reused for my Rise of the Beast B, which is currently my favorite. And yeah, who knows where I'm going to go from here for Bumblebee designs out of Lego. And this is what you guys have been waiting for, all the main 5 Rise of the Beast Autobots together. And not only do they all look good together, a lot of these were really good builds too. And they scale perfectly together here. And I can't wait to assemble more of the cast. The movie had a lot of good group shots that I really want to recreate once I make the other characters. And here's everybody ready to take on Scourge and his Terracon army. And that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed Rise of the Beast Bumblebee over here. And yeah, this guy is easily my best Bumblebee to date, and also my best car bot currently. It's very rare that I have a build that looks just as good in vehicle mode as in robot mode, and I honestly can't tell you which one I like better. And yeah, I don't really know how I can improve on a movie Bumblebee from here, but who knows what will happen in the next few years. And once again, there are free PDF instructions over on Rebrickable. The link is in the description below. This guy is a very fun build to mess with. And as for my next build, let's just say the Terracons could use some backup. And yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.